I'd gone to Canada a few years back, and I was speaking to a few investors. So they had given me a very interesting 5M formula for evaluating, whether your idea that you're thinking to spend your entire life on is worth spending it or not, right? And I'll quickly run over those 5Ms, which I think can be a very good understanding of or a good parameter against which you guys can place your idea and see whether this idea is worth pursuing or not worth pursuing. So the first M is movability, right? Whether your idea can move people, is that idea strong enough to be able to create markets, create opportunities, or able to solve a genuine customer issues. So that is called movability. The second M obviously is the marketability. Whether you think that you guys can market your idea, whether people will actually pay you money for that idea, and there is a kind of a value benefit analysis that you can do for your idea. So that is something which you can again judge and understand and kind of write down whenever you are evaluating your idea. The third is obviously, as I said, the money part, right? So you have to understand that whether my customer will be willing to pay me for this additional thing that I'm bringing on board. Whether your idea is strong enough to get money from the customer. So that's another critical factor that an idea should be able to pass the test on. The fourth is the management, right? Which basically means that if you have an idea, who are the right set of people who you think will be best suited to make that idea work. So obviously you can be the founder, but you may not be having all the right skills. So so you may need to identify that, okay, if I am able to bring this guy on board and he can bring those kind of different set of supplementary skills, so that idea can get more better shape, right? So that could be the fourth M, which you can use. And I think the fifth M obviously is the mitigation. So no business is without risk. Right? No idea no idea cannot be foolproof, totally foolproof. Every idea is bound to fail. So if you can work out that, okay, what are the kind of risks that can prevent this idea from growing big, and hence how I can mitigate those risks, so that again could be one strong parameter of judging whether that idea can actually become a good business or it cannot become a good business. So I think, so idea obviously is important, no doubt about that. But if you can run the idea on these small parameters, it will only help you to evaluate and delve deeper into your idea before you actually start, putting your resources onto it. I hope that helps.
Wow, Satish, that is quite a food for thought, right, after lunch. So yeah, I think even I'm addressing an audience which is like a theatre. There's a lower deck and the upper deck, so it's pretty fascinating to me, right? What I observed in all your responses, there is one group that feels it's the idea. There's one group that feels it's idea and much beyond the idea. Right? So let me try to veer our direction towards all students here, right? In your experience, is it difficult for inexperienced and young fellows, which is a student community, to find the right idea to pursue versus experienced professionals who can intuitively filter options and pursue an idea, right? So how does it work for a student who's probably not seen much of working life but still wants to pursue a venture, right? How does he filter out an idea versus an experienced professional who would have worked for a few years, would have been bulldozed by the real world? Who wants to go first? Okay, Anup. Maybe. Yeah, let's ask a student. I mean, anyone wants to take a stab at that? Anup. Yeah.
So, I mean, the question is basically like whenever you are starting in.
Let me rephrase my question. A student pursuing an idea versus an experienced professional quitting his job or her job and pursuing an idea. What are the chances of success or failures for both of these individuals?
So I call it the art of abstraction. Like sometimes too much knowledge pollutes your mind. So especially when you're like, kids are the most innovative people. Like the kids come up with great ideas. They're really fresh. They're really like in the dimension that adults can't even think about. And all of that only happens because they are working at a certain level of abstraction. So it's not who can come up with the idea. Anybody can come up with the idea. I mean, the idea can come when you are 40 years old. It can come when you are 20. It can come when you are 10. Idea is an idea. What tools you require to execute that idea actually are important, and how you learn those tools is also important. So if you have a certain amount of experience when that idea is striking you, it definitely helps. So I typically tell students that you should work for one big company and one small company before actually you start pursuing your own business idea. Because working for these two types of organizations gives you enough experience or a leverage when you start building your own company.
That's a very interesting piece of advice. I hope everyone follows that, and I can personally empathize because I did the same.
So I think while I totally agree with Anup that working for a large company and working for a small company will give you an equal approach towards working in a disciplined environment as well as working in a chaotic environment of a startup, and understanding that how you can build your resourcefulness. But I mean, I may have a very, not a very, but kind of a different point of view here that, see, even if at a student level, if you think you have a strong idea, and if you can top it up with a very laser-focused resourcefulness, if you're really passionate to make it happen, and if you're really resourceful, if you really can hustle your resources together. That's why I think entrepreneurship is all about hustling. I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, if ask any one of us, we are not experts. We are not we are not the guys who have done PhD in our domains. But what really makes us the kind of journey that we have covered is our passion to hustle. Is our passion to be able to mop up resources and mop up people and mop up funding or whatever is required to make that idea work. So if that, I think even at the student level, if someone is really dedicated to make it happen, I think even then they can actually make it happen. We all have heard of a lot of successful student entrepreneurs who have even dropped out of college. I mean, leave beside working in a company and have actually built multi-million businesses. Yeah, so I mean, there are examples with Oyo, with Housing.com. All those guys actually got success just immediately after leaving college. None of them have an experience of working in a company. But again, what they had was that passion. What they had was that resourcefulness and that laser focused understanding of what exactly they need to do and what are the kind of people and resources they need to make that happen. So I think that helped them out.
I would really go along with that. As a student, there is a certain passion and energy, a fresh way of looking at things, and I'm sure all of you think you're going to change the world in some way. And if that energy and passion can be channeled with the idea that you have to make things happen, I think it will help you ride a long way over the ups and downs that any entrepreneur faces. And that, of course, is something you have to be prepared for. It's never an easy ride. So when you're just starting out, it's that much easier rather than after you've had 2 jobs, you're used to earning X amount of money, maybe you got married along the way and your family and in-laws have many expectations.
You have EMIs to pay.
EMIs, you have a car, maybe you've put down money on a house. So before you get into all those traps, if you have an idea, I think it's the best time in your life to get started.
I'll again give another example. There was a time 10-15 years back when there was a .com boom and .com blast. I don't know if you are aware. When the .com concept came, when the .com business concept came, everybody started getting an